Welcome to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Mic check, waifu, King, Telliano, is that you?
Summertime.
This is episode 258 of Mic Check, waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Patreon. Patreon.com/Mic Check waifu is where you can get early access to the video version of the podcast. It's where you can get access to the Patreon exclusive podcast, the conversational podcast, the After Story. New episode dropped. The Xbox Showcase and the Game Fest, which should be our last gaming After Story episode for a while. So make sure if you support us on Patreon, you link your Patreon account to your Spotify so you can get access to the After Story podcast thread. And if you're looking for episode 77, because 78 is posted right now, 77 is a video only, so you can only watch that on Patreon. So shout out to y'all for supporting us over on patreon.com/Mic Check waifu. We appreciate you. Mic Check waifu couldn't be what we are without our Patreon producer. Shout out to the Patreon producer who's been supporting us for quite a while. We truly appreciate you. It means the everlasting world to us. Honestly, we have the best anime community, I think, of every podcast in the world, and we couldn't do it without y'all. Thank y'all so much. So shout out to Christian, the archivist, Rob from Dad Needs to Talk podcast. Happy Father's Day, Rob. Dad Needs to Talk. Saphir, J. Lee Trey from Shogo Ha, Kent the Pro from Chaotic Culture and Shogo Ha, Explicitly, All for One Matt, Mazor Alter, welcome back, brother. Monique Williams, Nachi, Semi Sensei, Phrozen, Rob Stone, and last but certainly not least, our God T Money Fingers. Thank y'all so much for producing this and many episodes of the podcast. Thank you so much. It means the world to us. Mic Check waifu is the anime podcast brought to you every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. CT, where we bring you seasonal anime conversation, topics, and discussions. We also bring you news sometimes too. Shout out to everybody that do support us at our Patreon producer tier, because they have access to our topics channel, and we have quite a few topics in there that we're gonna keep storing up, keep banking, because there's some great ideas that we're going to use for future episodes. So I just want to recognize you guys for doing that, producers over there. So thank you. We're going to use those topics later. But this week is a special week because it is the summer anime preview. But before we get into that, I do have to say, June 30th. So 2 weeks from this episode, we'll be doing our live episode. Our live episode will probably be the wrap of the spring season. So join us as we talk what we think about the overall spring season. Share your thoughts with us and the other community members of Mic Check waifu. It'll be live on YouTube, youtube.com/@Mic Check waifu. That's where we hold all of our live shows. Maybe one day we'll make a Twitch too and just simulcast it all there too. Not a bad idea, actually. And it'll be live on Twitter or X, whatever people call it, even though we're never active on ourselves. Anyway, thank you so much for supporting us. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube. We appreciate that. Like the video, all that good stuff. Comment on it with our guy Rob Stone. He be lonely over there. But thank you all so much for supporting us. Here we go. Now, Tell, welcome to the summer, and how you feeling?
Welcome to the summer. It's been a good week. It's Father's Day. I was very celebrated today, so it was a great day.
Yeah, happy Dad's Day.
Much appreciated. Happy Dad Day to you too, bro.
Hey, my little young puppy.
When y'all ever hear rustling over there, you know it's Polo's pup over there going crazy.
True.
But it's been really good for me. It's just been a good week. My wife got an internship and stuff like that, so it's been a lot of good stuff happening this week. The kids are good, great. So it's been a pretty solid week so far. Thinking about going forward this summer though, my mom, she's getting ready to head out here pretty soon to come hang out with us. Nice. So that's exciting. That is exciting. Just getting stuff prepped for that, and then we trying to clean the pool, bro.
Yeah, because you're gonna need it out there. It's hot.
My god, it's about hot than a mug, bro. So 2 weeks ago we went from I ain't gonna say 2 weeks, like 3 weeks ago we went from feeling like we getting a tornado every other week or every other day to now it's just swelteringly hot. That's the only bad thing about the week so far, and I love being hot. I feel like I had to go outside strictly with a shirt off, even when I was cutting the grass. It was like, and
of course,
the bugs out here are so aggressive, bro.
Yep.
I'm cutting the grass. I need long sleeves, but it's like I gotta take it off because I'm gonna die.
No, and to be fair, bro, I don't know. I still don't understand how where I live, there are people who have their balcony doors open. And then somebody just moved across the hall from us. Well, it's because we're on the corner of our apartment, but somebody moved across the hall from us and they have their door open and their balcony door open. I'm like, how in the everlasting fuck could you do that in Austin, Texas, where the bugs don't give a shit about nothing? They will aggressively fly in your face. They got crickets that just we got crickets that can hop on the second floor. It's insane. It's insane. I don't understand how people do it. But I love it here, man. For me, it's been a great week too, man. It's such a unique time for me because, you know, as y'all know, I'm like super into gaming mode. And recently there's a lot of stuff going on that's dropping soon, and I'm super excited for like the Final Fantasy 14 expansion, the Elden Ring DLC, or should I say expansion. You got it's all kinds of stuff going on. So I've been in a great place mentally, and
just playing Fallout.
Yeah, playing some Fallout 76. I've been in a great place mentally, having a good time, man. I feel good, a lot better than I have in days past. So I'm looking forward to today though, because today's a big day, because it's the preview episode. Last time we did I think the last 2 seasons we did it live. So this time it's a little intimate. Of course, we're still going to bring in our community, which we do every season, to get their sleepers and store them in the bank for later. So we got a lot of people to go through, some on Twitter, some in our Discord forums. We appreciate y'all for joining in on the conversation. Shout out to the Discord. Make sure you join the Discord. Go to miccheckwaifu.com, hit the About tab, and press the Join Discord button and join us over here. A lot of great conversation goes on. A lot of great episode discussion, etc., etc. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun in Discord. So, let's start with how we always start every episode. What was your episode of the week this week? I mean, do we do a countdown and just say what it is? Because I got a feeling it's the same thing.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's do that.
Let's do that. All right, 3, 2, 1. Jobless
Reincarnation. God damn.
Yep. The biggest episode this week, the best episode this week, an unbelievable episode this week, a sad episode this week. I'm not going to go into any spoilers.
Father's Day.
I'm not going to go into any spoilers until the second half of the show. So after our song break, Jobless Reincarnation will be discussed. It has to be discussed openly. So be ready for that. But yeah, it was the best episode. Oh, shout out to one of our Patreon producers, R41 Matt. He also said that it was his episode of the week in Discord. So he said while Kaiju number 8 was great this week, Jobless gets the episode of the week.
And I'm willing to debate that Kaiju one. I ain't gonna lie to you. I want to debate that one. Yeah.
Debate it as in like discuss it. Let's do it.
I don't want to. Well, yeah. I guess we got to go to spoiler talk to discuss it really. But yeah, I want to debate the Kaiju number 8 one because I'm gonna be real. I thought it was episode of the week quality, but there's a very specific thing I hated about it that made me say, nah, absolutely not. 100%.
And I think we might agree on that. So we're going to take that to the spoiler talk. That's going to be the first thing we talk about is Kaiju number 8, episode, I believe 10. Is it?
Let me verify it really quick.
Yeah.
It's 10?
It is 10?
Hold on. I'm trying to. It is, it's episode 10.
Perfect. Yeah, so we're going to discuss that first because I know Rob Stone would like to be a part of that conversation and he's still catching up on Jobless, so I don't want to bring Jobless until later on in spoiler talk. So Kaiju number 8, episode 10. Okay, and if you would allow me, let's bring a condition called love to spoiler talk, because there is a and this might kind of extend spoiler talk into like a whole topic discussion in itself, but there's a very important piece of a condition called love that I would love to talk about with you. I think it'll be great to do so. Because there's a lot with that I would love to kind of break down in a sense.
Okay, let's do it.
So with that being said, shall we get started?
I mean, do you want to jump right into the summer, or would you want to talk about some other stuff first? Because I'm just gonna say this, just because I feel like I haven't really talked about my spoiler a lot this season. Or not my spoiler, my sleeper a lot this season.
Okay. We can save that for the live episode though, when we wrap everything up all at once. I
just want to say this episode was really good. That's all.
And funny enough, I missed it. I didn't watch it.
It just gave a lot of backstory. So when you get there, it is a great episode for what it delivers. Mm-hmm. It gives a lot of like punch to why our character kind of is the way he is.
Yeah.
So it was a great episode for more than one purpose. It was definitely I could have expected Polow to shed a thug tear for the old fashioned mate in this episode.
Oh, I love old fashions.
Same.
There is because let us discuss the summer season.
Let's do it.
All right. Shall we start with Twitter?
Let's go.
Let's go right into it. So, before we get into discussing the summer season in its entirety, let us share some of our community sleepers. I'm not going to share yours because you don't follow us. I appreciate you for participating though. So, let's start off. Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot on Twitter, actually. A lot more than I thought. Okay. Let's start with the Patreon producer, Phrozen. Okay. Phrozen says his most anticipated is the Elusive Samurai, and his sleeper pick is Quality Insurance in Another World, or his sleeper pick. Now, okay. So I want to say shout out to Phrozen. He's a dope dude. Great picks off the bat. I should have started with this though, but I am going to say for those who are uninitiated, every season we do these sleeper picks, and we pick our most anticipated shows. What sleeper is, because I feel like I have to explain it, is a show that you know nothing about. You haven't read, you haven't heard anything. You just go through your Annie list and you look at a show that seems interesting, that you want to say, you know what? I want people to look at this show with me, and maybe it'll be good, maybe it'll be bad. It's to pick stuff that looks interesting to us, right? And we know nothing about, to maybe to spread the awareness of a particular show that wouldn't be necessarily popular or seem good to normal anime watchers. We just kind of bring some shows to the forefront that it doesn't get enough love, essentially, is what the point of it is. But
give some things a chance.
And give stuff a chance, absolutely. So I digress. Let's start with that. All right, Frozen. I love those picks. I don't even know what these shows are yet, obviously, because I haven't dove that deep into summer anime. But the Elusive Samurai seems interesting. Maybe we should find that real quick and give a read of the synopsis.
Let me see. I'm about to find out. Give me a second. I had to refresh my display here.
I'm not gonna lie. A lot of this seems like another season where a lot of people are sleeping on it.
There's a lot that already looks like, and I hate to say it, I'm judging the book by its cover. There's a lot that seems like it might actually be pretty solid, just from looking at some of these.
I'm judging the book by its cover.
I am.
I don't blame you.
Which one was that?
Let's see if I can find it here. Oh, it's called something else. Excuse me.
Is it Nije Juzo no Wakagimi?
Yeah. So I'm gonna read the synopsis here. Set in feudal Japan in between the Kamakura and the Muromachi periods, our hero Hojo Takatoki is a boy on the run that history all but forgot. When Kamakura shogunate is overthrown by the Ashikaga Tokiduji Takatoki's family and standing are viciously taken away from him, and he must flee from the reaches of the land to survive and seek out his revenge. I'm not gonna lie, this seems very shonen, but let me not judge a book by its cover, because look at the studio. The studio is Cloverworks.
Oh yeah.
So it's one of my favorite studios. So if you're familiar with, like, and this is a topic that I believe we got on our Discord in our topic Weebs idea channel, but we should do it like our top 5 studios. Cloverworks is like number 3 for me. So and Cloverworks is also doing Windbreaker, so I can't necessarily judge a show by the looks of the cover, but
if they're delivering.
Holy schmoly, does it seem bare bones, atypical, be usual. But, I don't know. Take a look at his sleeper pick. His sleeper pick was Quality Insurance in Another World.
His sleeper was Quality Insurance? I thought it was Elusive, but...
No, Elusive is his most anticipated. So he's familiar with it.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna get some love.
Which is exactly why I'm gonna give it a chance, because it's his most anticipated. Frozen is one of the ones with us that talks about Yadagoratsu. So he knows his stuff.
Yeah, because Yadagoratsu did go underappreciated, at least in my opinion. Quality Insurance in Another World. You want me to read that one?
Yes, please.
All right. Despite its location in a remote region south of the continent of Felnark, the island Claiborne is made up of 5 small countries crowded together in a constant conflict. In the most remote reaches of the smallest and most peaceful country in this island, the Kingdom of Bale is the small village where a girl named Nicola lives in a humble life. One day, while she's out gathering firewood as she does every day, a massive dragon, a creature that's supposed to only live deep in the mountains, appears in front of her. Just as it's about to attack the village, a man named Haga rushes to the scene. Haga is a member of the King's Seekers, a top-secret investigation team. Nicola has never once felt bored with her peaceful life, even when every single day is particularly the same. But after meeting Haga, she's so intrigued by Haga and his travels that she decides to step out into the world itself and then learns the true nature of the world. Okay. I'm gonna tell you what that kind of reminds me of.
Talk to me.
A happier Made in Abyss. Like if Made in Abyss did not have dread, because I feel like that's exactly how they would describe Made in Abyss. Like if you were reading that synopsis, without telling you how harsh the world actually is, that kind of feels like that. So let's see, but I don't think it's gonna be that, obviously, because of how this picture looks. But that's what I would have thought, had I never seen that. How you feeling about that?
I don't. It seems interesting. I want to look at the actual art itself, though, because if I remember correctly, here it is. Okay, you know what it reminded me of when I look at it? What's the one we just watched last season with the super adorable main character who was ran out of her village, but because she had no stars.
Oh, the summoner, summoned the slime,
the world's weakest tamer or something like that.
Yeah, world's weakest tamer. Yeah,
that one was extremely interesting. So that's what this one kind of looks like on its art, and I was thinking,
I didn't say Dragon Quest.
And it does have a Dragon Quest vibe to it. Very bubbly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it looks like classic manga anime art styles.
It's done by 100 studios and Studio Palette. And Studio Palette did the world's finest assassins gets reincarnated. So they did they did that terrible one though. This Working for God in a godless world.
Oh my goodness.
That's unfortunate.
That was not good. Did you actually watch that one?
I watched one episode and never went back.
I'm pretty sure I got like halfway through there and that was crazy. Not good. But the world's finest assassin though, hear me out. They hitting at like a 50-50 ratio. Well, more than a 50-50. It's like 75 because they got something that is coming out this season. I'm gonna just go to it. Is Our Last Crusade. Remember, we watched Last Crusade and it was actually pretty good. Nice little romance. From like a Romeo and Juliet kind of esque story. You remember it? Yeah. Oh, I do remember that. But did they do season 1? Because season 1.
Interesting. No, they didn't. You're right. Season 1 was done by Silverlink. Interesting. You're right.
But if they can carry the torch, then we'll see. You know what I mean?
Right. So we
that was actually pretty solid. Even though it was like, you had to remind me. I do remember because he was the one who they were the two opposing armies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was actually, that was good. But I don't know with them yet.
I know. You're right. You're absolutely right. That was the Polow Until Last anime, by the way. So if you haven't seen Our Last Crusade, check it out if you like Polow Until Last anime, because that's exactly what it is. Very, very Chivalry of a Failed Knight or Asterisk War or Infinite Striatos kind of show. In a sense, kind of. All right, moving on. Let's go to another producer, one of our cohorts in the podcasting space, Dad Needs to Talk podcast. Make sure y'all check out Dad Needs to Talk podcast. But he says, my sleeper is Shoshumin series because it's from the creator of Hyoka, which, for those of you that know, Hyoka is fantastic. I love Hyoka. I will sing his praises for the rest of my life. Otherwise, I feel this season is a B-tier buffet for me. Lots of series that most people will likely ignore, but are my type of shows. In other words, Polow Until Last animes. Polow Until and Rob ass animes.
Yeah.
The B-tier stuff I enjoy. But let me talk about Shoshumin series by reading the synopsis here. The story centers on Jogoru Kabuto, who wishes to live a quiet, ordinary life after a painful experience. He and Yuki Osane form a mutual beneficial relationship, in quotes, as Yuki also wants the same thing. They start high school as classmates with a plan to spend their peaceful days as ordinary people. But unfortunately, they keep getting wrapped up into mysteries and disasters as they happen one after another. Yes. That's all I'm going to say to that is absolutely yes. Man, it seems like this show will have the main character Adam Gibbs, one of my favorite voice actors, the voice actor from My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu, and Eminence and Shadows. Great dub voice actor. It seemed like he would be the main character for this one too. Funny enough, but he didn't have a most anticipated. But he mentioned a bunch of B tier stuff that he's interested in. One of the B tier shows that I'm interested in, is where is it? I just had it pulled up. Oh, here it is. No Longer Allowed in Another World.
Hey, hear me out. I literally clicked on that too. I'm literally on it. I wish I could show you my display right now. 100%. I'm literally looking at that right now. Same thing. I was like, this is off the bat. It looks like a Polow Until Last anime.
100%.
So yeah, same. I agree. I literally was looking at this, caught my eye as soon as I read the title.
No longer allowed in another world, pulled into an otherworldly adventure with cute sidekicks and superpowers. You think Amatsu hit the jackpot? Nope. From a time before pixels, the early of 20th century, glooming Arthur just wants to find a quiet place to meet his maker. Now rack up XP. Sadly, his poetic demise is constantly thwarted by inconvenient heroics. Dive into this hilariously tragic life of the most reluctant hero. Now, this can go one of two ways.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think you're gonna like this one.
This could go one of two ways. This can go, oh my gosh, I wish I had these names on hand. But you remember the anime we watched, the VR game where the guy went into the VR and it was super realistic. And it turns out he gets stuck in it. Like every other thing we watch. But it was fucking hilarious. We laughed so much at this show. And it was all
about how hard it was. And
exactly. It was about the difficulty of it. It can go that route and be really good and funny. Or it can go the route of the other ones where they end up like, what was the other one where the guy was fucking, he didn't have, it's so many of these, but he had like this girl that he fucking hated or something like that. He was super, my cheap powers, something. I'm about to look it up. Hold on.
All of them. Hold on.
Dude, it's so many of these that are the same. Because
I'm mostly saying you might not like it because of the other animes they produced or the studio has produced.
Okay, bring me some.
It was the grandpa or the uncle
from another world. That one's stunk.
And I thought it was funny, but I knew you hated it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, Polo's never gonna want to watch that. The Uncle from Another World. And then they have the Ganbare Doki-chan, which is a ecchi romance comedy kind of thing. But their humor style, I don't think suits you, bro.
Well, they didn't write it, so
I understand that, but I think it's still about the delivery. You know what I mean? Like I guess that's true. We'll see. Because this one, the way everything about this seems like us, bro. Yeah. It seems like we want to watch this.
Even watching the trailer, because they have a trailer on AniList as well.
I ain't look at that yet.
The art style looks great. Like everything about it looks great. But as far as that, it could be Demon Lord retrial, or it could be
nothing
good.
Will be Demon Lord retry ever again. Oh my God.
I hope not, even though they got a season 2. Why? Anyway.
The CGI is gonna kill you, but I think this is gonna look good, bro.
Oh, it looks the trailer looks fine to me.
You think it's okay?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Let's go to Rob J. Rob J said this in Discord, but he also wrote it on Twitter. He said, my most anticipated Oshinoko season 2. Yes, brother. Oshinoko season 2 is definitely, spoiler alert for our list, one of our most anticipated shows as well. But he said his sleeper is, I became the strongest and annihilated everything with low levels of spells. Y'all know these type of isekais are my bag.
Yeah.
There are too. Now, to make it your sleeper, I love that you did that, because that's a ballsy move. It's good to either go again 2 ways, be really terrible or really good.
Yeah, you saw what he did with the vending machine anime.
Yeah, we can't even gotta bring that up. But no, these long isekais, I don't know, man.
I mean, so hear me out, bro. Some of the titles when they're long like that are good. The World's Finest Assassin is like, it still had like another sentence after that, right? And then Parallel War, Parallel War Pharmacy was just that. But some of these they have like, even you think about Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, they technically put all of that in one name. It's a long title still. So some of these are good, bro. Some of them.
But here's the deal with this one in particular. Looking at the cover of it and the trailer, it looks extremely different and unique in this case. I know specifically TCB. I'm bringing you up because you're the perfect example. I know you're tired of these. Some of these, man, are just interesting. Minus the CGI I'm seeing in the trailer right now, but some of these become way more interesting than they have any right to be, and this one might be one of them. For one, the cover art looks great. It looks dark and gritty, which I love, which is very much different than any other one. So I'm gonna read the synopsis. The title is crazy in both Japanese and English, but Toka Mayori and his classmates are abruptly catapulted into a fantasy world, summoned by the resident goddess to serve as heroes. The good news, most of the students display amazing skills upon arrival. The bad, Mayori is the worst of the lot, bottoming out with a measly E-rank I believe that's supposed to say license, or maybe they call it something else. Oh no, with a measly E rank. Incest, the goddess tosses him into a dungeon to die. But it turns out that Mayori's skills aren't so worthless as they are abnormally powerful, perhaps. Ooh, that synopsis alone, brother.
I like it.
Now it's done by the studio they did Chain Soldiers.
Tony Kawa Over the Moon. And also a newer studio, it looks like, but they did Girlfriend season 2, Sweet Reincarnation. They did Blue Period. So yeah, these two studios have some heat under their belt. I am most certainly looking forward to this one. This one seems the more interesting out of the isekais that we've seen so far. But I think Rob J, you made a great sleeper pick there. Hey, that one was going on the list regardless. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. That one's got to go on the list. I got to say, that's probably a good pick for sure too. Mm-hmm. What was the next one?
I am looking on Twitter right now. I think I'm done with, like I said, those guys don't follow us, but thank you for participating. Yeah, I think that's it for Twitter for now. Slide over to Discord. Let's go to Christian, the archivist. One of the Patreon producers, as you guys know, so well, who helps us out with archiving, going through the archives and finding where we messed up or where we were right or where we were wrong. Good stuff. I love what he does for us. It's a great big help. But he says, bro, I think I might go with a slice of life with my sleeper this season. And it's Aliya sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. He said it might be a banger. Now that one does look interesting. This looks like a Polow ass anime. I'm gonna say that for a fact, but I'm gonna go to that. Aliya sometimes hide her feelings in Russia. Aliya is a transfer student enjoying popularity at her new high school, often sporting a cold shoulder while earning high marks in class. She ignores her nerdy classmate Kuzi Masachika, except for when she blurts out a flirtatious line to him in Russian. Little does she know, Kuze understands Russian, though he pretends not to. Let's see where this wacky love story takes him. Oh, boy. Yes. Talk about being right on my alley.
Oh, my God.
Talk about
no, that's going to be good.
That's going to be so good. That's great. That's a great sleeper pick.
What makes it good is that the guy character knows.
He knows Russian.
So it's even better.
It's pretty funny. To continue what Christian said, he says, my most anticipated is between Koiwa Futiko, the Warankarani dog. I'm sorry for butchering that. I don't even know what that is. I think, is that the one we just mentioned with Rob J? I'm gonna copy and paste this into.
I think so. What? Say the name one more time.
I'm not even gonna try, bro. Don't embarrass me like that in front of all my friends. No, this is actually a different one. It's literally called. The English name is "Love is Indivisible for Siblings."
Okay.
What?
Love is indivisible
for siblings. Now, okay, now you treading a slippery slope here.
Oh, that I did see that one. Now I'm just hear me out. I did add it to my list.
I'm going to add it to mine too because he said it's most anticipated. But let me go ahead and read this out. He said it says written by Shion Takamura. It follows a boy named Jun as he falls in love with the twin girl. Oh, okay. Wipe the sweats off my forehead. Sorry, I'm gonna continue reading. It follows a boy named June as he falls in love with the twin girls who are his childhood friends and live next door, both of which who couldn't be more different from each other. Rumi, the older sister, who has a boyish exterior but a maiden-like personality, while Nori, a super girly and also a super otaku. Okay, I'm okay. Wipe the sweat off my brow is not some boy falling in love with his actual sister. That I'm okay. I'm okay with this one.
That almost sound like a clean closest neighbors.
A clean closest neighbors, but this time we got two neighbors. But he said he said between that and then Suicide Squad isekai, which I couldn't give a fuck about. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later, but but gonna go with the first one since I feel like the others would choose the Suicide Squad one. I mean, you could just choose it as your most anticipated. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah. So, yeah.
All right. Let me say this. You almost ready to look at your sleepers?
Oh, I mean, I'm pretty much there. We still got a couple of people in the Discord to go through, though.
I did want to say this because I know that I think Dad Needs to Talk did watch this one. Shy season 2.
Oh God.
Hey, chill. You just got in this bag. You gotta work your way up into this. What is it called? Shoujo. Well, either way, I'm excited because the ending was actually relatively really good. I think it did take some time to build up, but yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I couldn't care less.
I feel you, but it's gonna get talked about.
Okay, I understand. Okay, TCB says my most anticipated, not counting returning a sequels show is My Dear Friend Nokutan, unironically, and it's spelled DEER.
My Dear Friend Dokutan.
Yeah, so this I am going to mention that Rob J did tweet us again after I retweeted our post, and he said, "Don't sleep on the dear one." And let me go ahead and give this a read. And no one knows Toroku used to be a delinquent. All of her classmates only know her as the perfect student, but everything changes when Nokutan, a transfer student with antlers, enters her life. Antlers aren't the only thing strange about Nokutan. Her deer nose can sniff out Toroku's secret past, whether it's at school or the zoo. Chaos follows this doe-eyed, spelled as like obviously a young deer, doe-eyed girl's every step. Toroku has so many questions. Is Nokutan a deer or a girl or something in between?
Hey, look.
It's done by Wit Studios, bro.
I hated that synopsis.
My number 2 favorite studio of all time.
I hated that synopsis, but we know it's got to get a try. I'm going to give it a try, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it's done by Wit, so that's why I'm going to give it a try. But looking at this trailer, it's probably going to be a big no. This trailer looks awful, by the way. Now, the trailer could be awful, but the show could be good. Mm-hmm. But everything becomes dear. Like, it's fucking no, thank you. I think I'm gonna let you watch it, and then you tell me if I should watch it. The trailer was enough for me to say no.
Oh my goodness!
The number 1 tag is surreal comedy, and y'all know I fucking hate comedies like that. I really, really do.
I can understand. All right.
Dear puns, bro. No thank you.
Deer puns. It's all about the dough, bro.
And TCB also says, Mayonka Punch is hard for me. It's hard for me to put it as my sleeper because I have it under my most anticipated. It's just not at that level. Most anticipated and sleepers are very different. So most anticipated means you know something about it. And sleeper means you know nothing about it. So I'm going to assume you mean My Dear Friend Nokutan. But Mayonka Punch is going to be his most anticipated.
Mayonka Punch?
Yeah, let me see if I can find that.
Yeah, I got you. Mayonaka Punch.
Mayonaka Punch. Yeah, sorry, I read that wrong.
Mayonaka Punch. Mayonaka Punch centers on Mazaki, a member of the YouTuber group Harakiri sisters, who gets fired because of a certain incident. Aiming for a comeback, Masaki meets Live. The two girls have different goals, but together they make a high-tension comeback and aim to reach 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
He mentioned PA Works being on fire this year. Where? I don't know if they've done that's of any relevance or has been good this year. Or maybe did he not say this? Did he say this year? Oh, the past few years. Okay, so the past few years they did do Skip and Loafer, which is good. Buddy Daddies was not my thing, but I understand people like that. People did like Akaba May War. So
I didn't watch Maid War.
I mean, they seem okay. They seem okay. Skip and Loafer was the best thing they've done, though, for sure. And it's not even close. Skip and Loafer is like seriously top tier romance.
I think I found my comfort anime for the season.
Talk to me.
Hear me out. A journey through another world, raising kids while adventuring.
Yeah, okay. I feel that.
But hear me out. I'm only saying that because I was looking at the trailer, and it looks like it's just goofy nonsense. So let me read the synopsis real quick. Takumi gets accidentally killed by wind god Syl and is reborn and summoned to another world. After giving Takumi his sincerest apologies, Syl grants Takumi with skills and sends him to the world Atilia that Syl presides over. However, this new world is a vast forest filled with dangerous monsters. In the forest, Takumi finds a young boy and a girl who appear to be twins. He is worried about their safety and names them Alan and Alina, and decides to take care of them. He soon finds out, to his surprise, they are able to defeat a monster with their bare hands. The three of them reach a town, and Takumi decides to register at a guild to make a living. He begins his life as an adventurer while taking care of the two children. They are overpowered children. To me, I'm turning this on because I just want to see them pure mayhem.
Yeah, this seems like this is your grandpa and grandma turn young again.
Yeah, bro. It's super cute looking. It is super cute looking, and it's an isekai, so it's like right up my alley. So I'm about to go ahead and I'm adding that to the list. Yep.
All right, let's go to one of our favorites. Okay, yeah, we play favorites here. I might check waifu. Crystal. She says, "My sleeper is." I'm gonna read the English title because she put the English title. Which shout out to her. She put the English title in her Discord post, but she says, Dalilah and Bloom, crafting a fresh start with magical tools. So, that one seems interesting. It's a very, very, very isekai shoujo, which those have been hitting these past few seasons. But it says, after dying of overwork in Japan, you know the usual. It didn't say that, but that was me. Dalilah is reborn into a world filled with magic. Raised by a master of magical tool making, she develops a passion for the craft and becomes engaged to her father's apprentice. Oh no. Before her father can see her wed, however, he suddenly passes away. As if this weren't enough, on the day before their wedding, her fiancé announces that he's in love, but not with her. Dalilah finally realizes she needs to live for herself. She vows to be her own woman from now on and devotes herself to her craft. Even if it's not quite the quiet life she was hoping for. From the chance encounter with a knight to starting her own company, there are challenges aplenty on the horizon. But this young craftswoman is no longer a shrieking violet. She's Dalilah, and she's ready to bloom. Oh my gosh, this seems like the shows that's been popping up in my.
It's getting that Polow bag, huh?
Yep. It's the new Polow bag that was created just this year. This seems like it's one of them. Let me look at the recommended isn't up yet, but definitely one I'm gonna watch because I haven't been let down by these. And of course, it's a Crystal Sleeper. We never miss Crystal Sleeper, so that means both me and Tel probably going to watch it. I am very much looking forward to it because it seems like What was the one I just mentioned this year? I'm so tired of not remembering these names, man. But
we watch over 100 anime a year, bro.
I know. It's true.
Names don't get lost.
It's true, but it's about the girl who ended up getting isekai into the book, right? That I talked about. You know what I'm talking about. She was isekai into the book, and she meets this prince, and she kind of coerces him to be engaged with her so she can keep her character that dies in the book alive.
Okay,
that's what it seems like this one will be. Which I'm all for. This fucking going against some prince dude who denounces her like in Seven's time loop.
Yep.
Very much along the lines of that, which I'm looking forward to.
Which will take that because Seven's time loop was on point.
100%. And she says, my most anticipated is, of course, for me to use season 3. Obviously. Yes. I cannot wait for season 3 of this. It's going to be so good.
I still got to catch up on that. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, please do, man. That'll be a great conversation for us to have.
I took a lot of time catching up. I'm not fully caught up on Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy, but I'm on episode 22.
Okay, yeah. No, you basically are.
So tomorrow I'll watch 23 and 24, and then we done.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that you are caught up. That is caught up.
I mean, I'm an episode behind. To me, that's not caught up. You know what I mean?
But from where you were, that's caught up.
Yeah, from where I was. That was what, 10 episodes I watched?
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. I'm so excited. All right, let's go to another Patreon producer, our guy, Fear. He's been supporting us for a long time. I got much love to Fear. We appreciate you, brother. But hard to call it my sleeper. But days with my, I get why it's hard to call it your sleeper. But he says days with my stepsister is his choice for sleeper pick. Okay, so this one is interesting because this kind of falls in between where we kind of straddle. It's by Studio Dean. Studio Dean has done, I'm gonna keep it real with you, terrible work. Absolutely awful work recently, which falls in the banished from the former hero lives as he pleases, which we dropped, came out this season. But they did do Remaster. Remaster doesn't look great. It isn't animated well, but they did do that.
It does have a thing.
It's a great show. It's written well for Remaster. So, but the animation is poo caca. But let's get into this one. So it's gonna be hard to read. From classmates to brother and sister living under the same roof. After his father's remarriage, Asamura Yuta ends up getting a new stepsister. Coincidentally, it's the number one beauty of the school year, Ayase Saki. Having learned the important values when it comes to man and woman relationships through the previous ones of their parents, they've promised each other not to be too close, not to be too opposing, and to just merely keep a vague and comfortable distance. On one hand, Saki, who has worked in solitude for the sake of her family, doesn't know how to properly rely on others, whereas Yuta is unsure of how to really treat her. Standing on fairly equal ground, these two slowly learn the comfortable sensation of living together. Their relationship slowly evolves from being strangers. The more the day pass, eventually they can end up in a story about love, for all we know. Now, this is interesting because this might be up my alley back when my alley was mess. Okay. And I'm talking domestic girlfriend or love lies, that kind of mess. Those Scum's Wish. Those are the messy shows I like. However, I don't think this is being that crazy. Only because it's two separate houses that happen to fall under. But sorry to expose my pops like this, but my pops has married a plethora of women in his past. Married, divorced, married and divorced, married and divorced.
It'd be like that.
And I've had step siblings, and I would never have thought or looked at them in any other way other than family. So this is still teetering on that level of uncomfortability for me. because I just don't like brother and sister stuff in anime, and they tend to do it a lot. It's an icky situation, but this one seems a lot different.
Yeah.
And it's not as bad as the Domestic Girlfriend, because I'm gonna just spoil some of Domestic Girlfriend because this is episode 1 of Domestic Girlfriend. But Domestic Girlfriend starts like this: a student has a crush on a teacher. The teacher is getting married. He decides to go out with a group of friends because he's basically heartbroken about this teacher getting married. He goes out with a group of friends. They go out karaoke into this mixer, right? And at the mixer, it's this girl, this quiet girl who doesn't want to be there, who was dragged out by her friends, who decides to be there. She leaves. He leaves. She asks him, "Hey, do you want to have sex?" They have sex. Okay. Just so they can like experience it with each other, because they're both virgin. Like they know nothing about this. They're both hurt. They didn't want to be there, et cetera, et cetera. Come to find out, literally like a month or something later, I don't know the exact time frame because it's been a long time since I watched it. After that, his dad remarries, and the person he remarries is that girl is the mother's daughter. So now he's living under the same roof as the girl that they slept with, like did the one night stand with. Not only that, her sister, the girl he slept with, is the teacher he had a crush on. It's messy. It's messy.
That is mess.
It's messy. So that, I'm not saying that it's going to be like that. This seems like it's a more wholesome story of two separate people coming together in this unfortunate circumstance who might find love with each other. I'm interested, but if it gets too weird, I guess another weird show that we both watched. Haji Hero. We enjoyed it though. So,
but it was very different. Haji Hero is one of them shows that it comes off as what we thought was going to be very uncomfortable.
Yes.
But it stuck to its gun with its wholesome cleanliness. So well said. It was a very good show, especially with the message it delivers. So yeah, hopefully we can get something like that with this one. I don't even know if that's the show you were about to mention.
Yeah,
but
that's exactly the show I was about to mention. You're exactly right.
Oh so, man.
Sorry to go on that tangent with that one, but yeah, it's iffy. It's itchy, you know? It's a touchy subject for us because we both ain't into that shit. But I'm still gonna watch it because I like romance.
Now I do want to read this synopsis before we keep going, because I kind of want you to watch this trailer, bro.
Okay, let me just finish this off. We only got 2 more, so
let's go.
Fear says my most anticipated new show will be this and returning show. Oh, his most anticipated new show and returning show is Oshinoko. Obviously, good choice.
Great choice.
There's not last because I got to go to the YouTube comments to get Rob Stone. But Mazor Alter says, another Patreon producer. Actually, let me go ahead and do that. Another Patreon producer and who has a show of himself who they stream on Twitch at Mazor_Alter. They do a Twitch show every Wednesday at 7:30 Central. So make sure you guys check them out, or 7 o'clock Central. Check them out. But he says his sleeper pick, How to Become Ordinary.
Okay.
Which I don't think we've talked about yet.
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
I'm searching it up right now.
Same.
Oh, no. How to Become Ordinary is Shushiman series. Okay. All right. It's the same one as DadNeedsToTalk. That's just the English name. Dope. That's perfect. Great sleeper pick. All right. And then let's go to the last one. I got to go to the YouTube comments. So forgive me for not being prepared, but I definitely can't forgive Rob. So I'm going to read his entire comment because it was great. Let's go there.
Is How to Become Ordinary the only duplicate so far?
Yeah, I think that's the only one we got multiple. Wow, is that the first time that's ever happened?
Yeah, because normally, we got quite a few people picking the same one. Mm-hmm. Diversified palettes here at MCWW.
That's big diversification. All right, let's go. There it is. He says, sorry for the late comment. I'm away with no internet, so I've been limited to what I can watch at the moment. No, don't ever apologize, Robstone. We appreciate you for always commenting and interacting with the YouTube video. But he says, Yadagaratu. I'm going to read everything he said. It's short. Yatagarasu, great twist. Glad it happened. Glad it happened as it really shakes up the second half of the season. Facts. Oblivion Battery. Agreed. I have no interest in baseball, and to be honest, the characters, apart from the Yips guy, seem very bland to me, especially after rewatching Koroko's No Basket and the Haikyuu movie recently. It's not on their tier at all.
Not even close.
Understandable. And then he said, my sleeper for the summer, well, another repeat, The Elusive Samurai. I just finished the Netflix series on Samurai, the Blue Samurai, I'm assuming he mean, and started Shogun, so it fits. Great choice. Shout out to Rob Stone. I appreciate him.
The Oblivion Battery comment, I agree. This most recent episode, to me, was the absolute best episode Oblivion Battery has had so far. And it was because a character dynamic changed. And it was like the whole show just went up to like a 10. Like, this was the best episode. Like, if they've had 5 rated episodes, like they were all rated at 5s out of 10, this was like a 9.5 out of 10. This episode was really good. If Jobless Reincarnation wasn't this good, this could have been contender for episode of the week, kind of good.
Interesting. Again, Oblivion Battery.
Yeah, no.
I was actually, my interest was piqued when you mentioned how good the episode was.
It was just this specific episode, but after that, 100%. It's like, I don't know how it's going to continue after this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know what.
Yeah. But after you said that, I glossed over again. All right, let's get started. Now we can dive into the season. All
right.
Go ahead.
I'm going to read the synopsis, Polo. I just want you to watch the trailer.
Okay, and what show is it?
The name of this is called I Parry Everything.
I was going to bring this up.
Did you watch the trailer already?
I did not.
It looks crazy because I was like, this looks like it's too good to be almost like a trash anime, but I Parry Everything. The Kingdom of Clays faces a dire crisis. An assassination attempt has just been made on its own Princess Lindbergh. In its neighboring countries, the aftermath like starving vultures, plotting the kingdom's downfall. The ensuing conflict will shape the face of the continent for centuries to come, but Noor doesn't have a clue about any of that. Having freshly arrived at the royal capital after a decade of rigorous, isolated training at his mountain home, he's dead set on achieving his childhood dream of becoming an adventurer, even if the only skill he possesses are useless ones. Sure, he can parry thousands of swords in the span of a single breath, but everybody knows you need more than that if you want to be an adventurer. Our hero's road to making his dream come true will be long and arduous, but if there's one thing Noor's afraid of, it's some good old-fashioned hard work, or not afraid of, it's some good old-fashioned hard work.
Definitely not afraid of.
Yeah, not afraid. He been working.
Yeah, he be working. The trailer looks awesome.
That's what I said. I'm like, hold up.
I'm going to go ahead and say that. The trailer looks incredible. So I Parry Everything's definitely going on the list.
But I was confused because I'm looking at this name. I'm like, this reminds me of that The Strongest Tank. But they bumped the quality up like way high.
In a trailer.
In the trailer, yes. In the trailer, obviously, yes. So visually, it looks very appealing.
Yeah.
And it sets that tone. So I'm surprised. I was like, yeah, this is going on the list for at least to get a try.
Let's talk about this one. Gigi Harem, a first-year high school girl, likes a second-year boy in her drama club. She acts out various character archetypes that you would find in a typical manga harem as their relationship deepens. This seems interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because this seems like it's like the opposite of, well, almost kind of Oshinoko-esque in a way, where in one arc in particular, right? The commercial arc, the reality show arc, where the girl pretended to be someone who was close to our main character. So it was very interesting.
And I can see that. I could see that being very interesting because like it's a harem anime, but is the harem actually her just putting on a bunch of different, characters? And I want to see that. I think it actually might be really good.
Very unique take on a harem. Okay, so let's go through some of these, some of our most anticipated real quick. We're not going to read the synopsis of them because we already know about them. and we're just excited for him. So Oshinoko season 2, our number one most excited. Tower of God season 2, I feel like we're the only ones excited for that.
I have no idea why.
Me either. Nobody said it in the Discord. Nobody said it on our Twitter. Nobody even, for the 2 seconds I was on Twitter, I haven't seen anybody talk about it. So that's interesting. Again, I don't care about Suicide Squad Isekai. How do you feel about it?
I'm gonna watch it, but I have not watched anything on it so far because
Right.
I don't really like DC, if I'm being real.
Me either.
So I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I would suggest, and this is a recommendation I don't take lightly, I would suggest listening to Dad Needs to Talk podcast, because I know he's going to talk about this. And I know it's going to be a great conversation. It's done by Wish Studios. I know it's going to look good, right? Like everything about it is going to be probably good, but what I always say, if I don't care about your characters, then I'm not interested in watching. That's just my moral standing. Like it's characters always first for me in anime. I don't care about none of the Suicide Squad characters, so I couldn't give a fuck less about anything they got going on in the isekai.
And the craziest part about that is that for characters I do care about, we got Nier Automata version 1.1a coming back.
Yeah.
Second season, bro.
I cannot fucking wait, because then I can binge it all. I can binge it all at once. I'm so excited about that. The
excitement is real, bro. That I imagine that's one of our most anticipated as well. At least I know it's anticipated for me. I imagine Polow misses it just as much as I do.
You got we already talked about from Me to You season 3. Hopefully Tell will be caught up, so we can definitely talk about that. I would love to have some spoiler discussions on this, because if it's anything like season 1 and season 2, it's going to be a topic of discussion at the end of every fucking episode. It's going to be extremely strong in that, because that's what this show does well. So, intriguing stuff. I am going to say this, and I'm probably the only one excited for this, but Cafe Terrace's second season. I did not expect to get a second season this soon, but to get it, I'm excited for it. So I'm going to talk about it. I talked about this last, when did the first season come out? Let me find that real quick, because that was in...
I don't know why I thought this was one you kind of went back to watch.
This was spring of 2023. No, this was one I was watching week to week.
Same day? Okay.
Yep. I loved it. It's a really, really great show with a great cast of characters. I talked about it every week last year because it was just that good. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one. Let's see here. Any more ones we're looking forward to?
I'm gonna say for my most anticipated, I think that's it. Because so obviously all the high quality ones are all at the top, so we see exactly what we're looking for up there. Everything else is kind of
oh yeah, you did mention Shot's second season, so you were into that.
But mostly everything else looks like either new or not, like a ton of hype behind it.
Right. I will say Dad Needs to Talk may be right about this season being very this one might be a for real dry season.
I don't know, bro. I don't believe that. And I'm only say this. I'm gonna say this.
Okay.
Every time we said that, something popped up. Something popped up, and it's not. I'm not gonna say we've been wrong, because it can be a dry season for anybody. Should it just not be your taste that season, right?
Sure. Yeah.
But I feel like something always pops up that changes our mind. Like, oh, that's surprising. I wasn't expecting that. And then we end up watching, like we wasn't watching Yatagarasu at first, right? You know what 100%. I mean? Like, I didn't even get into it until 3 episodes was already out, and then I watched it, and then you watched it, and now it's like, yeah, this is something that we enjoy. And I'm not saying it's like top of the season, but I'm saying that like it's been hitting us with some stuff we enjoy. So maybe
we may find something else like that. You're absolutely right. Okay. All right. So let's dive into some stuff that haven't been spoken about that we seem to be interested in.
Well, so I also have to finish some Monogatari, because they have that Monogatari series Off and Monster season, which says sequel to the final season story arc of the Monogatari series.
Oh, really? Oh, I gotta catch up.
Now we got some Monogatari to watch.
Holy shit, I gotta catch up. Oh my god, I gotta catch up. Well, this might be the perfect season to catch up, because it ain't much. Because I'm not watching Fairy Tail. You gotta be fucked up if you think I'm gonna ever turn on Fairy Tail. No. Sorry. I don't know why I just brought it up. I brought up because it's there. Okay, let's get back into this. We got this one here. Wistoria, wand and sword. This might be something good. Here we go. A hardworking boy named Will enters a magic academy in hopes of becoming a great sorcerer. Unfortunately, there's a fatal flaw in his plan. He lacks the ability to use magic. Amid the cold stares of his classmates and instructors, Will feel discouraged at times, but he presses forward with unwavering determination. He can't use a wand, but he can wield a sword in his battle to reach the top of the magic-dominated world. He just needs to believe in his own unique strengths and remember the promise he made with someone precious to him. Look at the trailer, Till. I don't take this lightly. I don't take this lightly when I say it's Bandai Namco. This shit looks phenomenal.
It does look really good.
So it's between Bandai Namco and Octus. So I can already tell you it's going to look gorgeous. It's going to be a gorgeous show. Yeah, this one might be a fucking hit. An absolute hit. Wistoria, wand and sword. Very atypical, be usual, but it sounds like it's us. It's Chivalry of a Failed Knight, Actress Wars. Like us. Yeah, that type of shit that we love.
Yeah. I do think that is going to be one that it's going to be on my list.
I got another one for you.
What's that? Why
Nobody Remembers My World.
Oh, so I did add that one to my list as well. Why does no one remember the world?
Yep. The era when the great race of the 5 tribes competing for hegemony. I don't know what that means. You know what? I'm about to fucking do a live dictionary search because that word looks crazy to me. And I like to learn new words. So,
hegemony.
Hegemony is the correct punctuation of it. Leadership or dominance, especially by one country or a social group over others. Interesting. Okay. Hegemony. Okay. The era when the great race of the 5 tribes competing over hegemony on the ground ended with the victory of mankind led by hero Sid. However, the world was suddenly overwritten in front of a boy Kai. In the rewritten world, Kai saw the scene where humans lost to the 5 tribal wars because of his absence of hero Sid. Wow. Sorry, this is piquing my interest. Here, dragons and demons dominate the ground, and Kai is a forgotten existence from all human beings. However, after encountering the mysterious girl Rain, I'm assuming that's Rain, Kai decides to break his written destiny in a world without heroes, but he inherits the hero sword and martial art and challenges the mighty enemy races who reign. Interesting.
Yeah. So I saw that trailer when it was starting. I was like, no, this looks like shonen. Very, very shonen. I was like, I don't know if I want to watch this. And then it did the thing in the trailer where it switches like that post-apocalyptic look, and I was like, maybe this is going to be more than just another like super shonen-y kind of trope.
I'm looking at what you mean.
Because I was like, is this a Kingdom Hearts like anime kind of thing? But I know it's not that. But then it switches to that look, and I was like, maybe I'm gonna give it a try. So I do think it might end up. Yeah, I do think it might end up giving us something like it'll give us a surprise.
For context, it's by Project Non. Project Non does really decent stuff. So they did Bottom Tier Character, Angel Next Door, My Tiny Senpai, a show I like. My Stepmom's Daughter is My Ex. That was a good show, actually. Yeah, but they did Haji Hero. Project Non is a beast. So I'm definitely going to give it a chance. It's scary because it does look very shonen-y. Kind of like God's Game We Play-ish.
Oh. You remember it was that 8-second death match?
8-second death match, yep, it's giving me that too. Yep.
All right, but speaking of 8-second death match, right?
No, please tell me it's not another season.
I don't even. Tasu Ketsu.
Oh, okay.
Did we talk about that one?
We did not.
It has absolutely no title, no synopsis, no breakdown. So I'm gonna go to the source material.
Oh shit, really?
But it looks like what was that one that we watched before where it was surprising, where he basically got into the game like they were trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
It wasn't 8-second death battle. It was something else. Tomodachi game, yeah. It was just like that. Damn, even if you go to source material, it don't have a synopsis or breakdown. It just says a crowdfunded anime short adaptation.
Wow. Okay.
But that's not even going off of what I'm looking at right here for what the trailer looks like. That like the Tomodachi game. So
okay, that's interesting.
I'm gonna add this to the list for planning to watch.
Let's do that. All right, let's go with this one then. This is a lot of Polow until last anime, I swear. But the strongest magician in the Demon Lord's army was a human.
That's true.
Ike is known as the strongest magician in the Demon King's army, and is a single-handedly conquering fortress. That seems crazy. The way he's mowed down the enemies with his immense magic is truly a monster. This is written all fucked up, by the way. These are exactly how it's written. With his immense magic is truly a monster that makes him feared both allies and foes alike. However, he had a secret that he couldn't tell no one. He could tell other than demons. I'm actually human. Aiming for a coexistence between demons and humans, while the leader of the demon's army is hiding the fact that he's actually a human. That's interesting. So he's actually a human undercover in the Demon King's army, fighting humans, destroying them, because he has the power of basically a walking fortress, and he's trying to get a coexistence between humans and demons
by annihilating humans.
That's right.
That's very similar to that one we watched, that very almost comedy-esque anime where the guy was banished from the demons, and he went to the humans, and the demons were salty because he kept beating them up.
I think it was the opposite.
Well, he wasn't like killing them, but he no, I think I'm thinking about two different ones, because the one where he ended up realizing that he was really, really strong when he learned how to use his human powers. I'm thinking about the other one.
Okay.
Where he was, but either way, this one, I think it's going to be in that vein and worth a watch as well.
100%. I mean, there's so many we probably could talk about. I'm gonna give you one more, because this is A1 Pictures, and then we're gonna talk about our sleepers. A1 Pictures, I have to give attention to every single trip, because I have to.
What's this one?
Make heroine. No, let me find the English title. Too many losing heroines. Okay. Kazuhiko Nakumuzu is a high school boy content to blend in with the back. These are always so interesting. To blend in with a background mob until he witnessed his more popular classmate Ana Yami get dumped by her childhood friend. He felt like he had to try to comfort Yanami, but that's led to him becoming entangled with other girls who have met defeat at love. That seems interesting. Dalilah is getting at it. You gotta be fucked up. You think it's not getting at it?
You got a little bit of mess.
Always want that mess. Great. All right, Tel. Now comes time for us to do the unthinkable and pick our sleeper picks for this season. This is a tough one, man. This is going to be a tough one.
I chose my sleeper as soon as I watched this trailer earlier. Like, it was as soon as we started looking at this list, I watched this one. I was like, this image looks good, so I have my sleeper already.
I've been stuck between two since yesterday.
Oh, you was looking yesterday?
Yes.
God, this is why my sleeper is always bad.
It's only because it's only because I was prepping for the show.
Yeah.
About like where to go as far as the conversation, right? But yeah, and ever since then we've been talking, and it's been tough. But let me know what you got, brother.
All right, my sleepier. My sleepier is a sleeper. Wistoria, Wand and Sword.
Yes.
As soon as I saw the trailer, I was like, yeah, no, that's on the list right there.
This is definitely the most safest, most Polow pick. But
here we go.
I'm going to go with the Soshushi series. And it's only because it's by the same creator that created I forget what, sorry, it's late. But yes, that one. And I gotta force Tail to watch it. How to Become Ordinary is the English title, so that's the one I'm gonna go with. But I gotta force Tail to watch it because he hasn't seen one of my favorite shows, Hotuka. I can't remember the name right now. I'm having a brain fart, so forgive me, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And it's literally the exact same synopsis, essentially. But it seems to have like a slightly different spin because they're just both of the main characters are trying to be ordinary, which in the other series, he just wouldn't indulge until he met someone who is very interested in that life. But this one seems more interesting. So the ones that was stuck between, though, to be fair, I'm gonna go ahead and share what I was stuck between. So maybe you'll watch it, maybe you won't. But I'm hoping you do.
I'm gonna watch. I got a lot of stuff added to the list. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna watch whatever you watching, bro. Just about whatever you watching, unless it's this way out there.
But it was the sometimes highs our feelings in Russia.
Oh yeah, that was already added to the list. You ain't even gotta worry about that.
Yeah,
that was already.
It was
there.
Between those two since yesterday. But the Wistoria one piqued my interest when I was looking at it. And then the one that's Rob J. Sleeper piqued my interest when he mentioned it, and I looked at it here. But yeah,
I think that's a solid pick. I don't even think that's a bad pick at all. That's even I know you was gonna pick A Slice of Life, and that's a good one to pick.
You know,
it's already it's enticing, so to speak.
Can we give though? I'm gonna give an honorable mention though. So after reading the synopsis, I feel a lot better, and I want to watch it, and I want to make sure you watch it too. I'm going to mention it again though, but it's Days with My Stepsister. I think this deserves a watch from both of us too, because it seems like it's going to be a very interesting series.
Yeah, I think I already have that on my list. Days with My Stepsister.
Yes, it's Gemai Sasaku. But it's like what is it? 6 one down? Or no, sorry. My math ain't mathing. It's the 9th one down from the top.
Yeah, I already got that on the list.
Okay, good. All right. Tail, we got a lot to talk about in the second half of the show. So let's do that. Let's take this quick break. It's long first half as per normal. This is about to be a long episode, which people love long episodes, so
they do.
We'll check the listen time when this is over. But let's take this quick break. We're gonna start off with Kaiju number 8, episode 10 for spoiler talk, and then we're gonna go to Jobless Reincarnation, and then we're gonna go into a condition called Love. So,
yep, that order. In
that order, we're gonna talk spoilers in that second half after this music break. We'll be right back after this. And welcome back to episode 258 of Mic Check Waifu. All right, Tell. Spoiler half of the show. Let's talk about. Let's talk about episode 10 of Kaiju number 8. The turning point, if you will. The fact that it's episode 10 for the turning point is already worrisome enough. I'm going to say, I will say that. I do enjoy the show, and I have enjoyed the show up until this point, but it became tiresome waiting for him to fucking expose himself to the Defense Force. And I think I know what you're going to say, because what this episode did was fucking tasteless. Then when it happened, I'm like, fucking finally, now the show can start. Basically,
man,
is what I said.
Oh my god!
Because it's for 10 episodes, literally 10 episodes, and majority of the 10th episode, we've dancing around him hiding or somebody else coming in to save the day. It was so annoying because that when he was about to expose himself to that and save the guy, I thought would have been a better impact.
Yeah.
Than what they did when he actually exposed himself. But then the captain came and nuked the guy with the gun, and I'm like, oh, fuck this show. I was ready to turn it off. I was angry because I was just tired of this happening over and over and over again. It wore out its welcome there in that particular aspect of it. However, the show looks beautiful, man. It looks so good.
So let me just give my personal insight on it, right? Because I agree with what you said, but I was so hype watching this episode. I was hype. And I mean, like, I'm literally like, I completely turn my brain off, right? I start this episode and I'm like, oh, he about to reveal himself. And I'm just hype. I'm in my head. I'm just like, oh, this is about to go crazy. I'm hype. Like, when I tell you I'm hype, every time I say I'm hype it's not even, I can't even describe. I'm like, I'm watching this. I'm like cooking and eating and stuff like that. I'm hype. And we get into this fighting moment. Obviously, like Polow said, the anime looks amazing. And then we get to the point where I'm feeling like he's about to reveal himself, and he really just gets stopped. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I get it.
Were you pissed off though? Because I was actually angry, like visually angry. I'm like, I was actually on a treadmill while I was watching. I was visually angry. I'm like, man, fuck this shit. I was over it.
Yeah. Like I felt like I wanted to throw something down. But then it got back into the fight, and I'm just like, okay, well, I'm gonna enjoy for what I'm getting. And I'm watching it. I would say I'm noticeably less hype. Like if you were here with me, you'd be like, okay, well, he's not really hype anymore. But I'm watching it, but I'm still like involved with like all of the action that's going on, because like I said, I turn my brain off. I'm like, I just want the action, because I turn my brain back on when I'm like, oh, he's about to reveal himself, and I turn it back off. All right, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna watch it. And she comes and she kills. I'm like, that's kind of what I expected. You know what I mean? Like the vice captain, he's getting dog walked at this point, because he was going hard. Yeah. He getting dog walked. I understand his suit ran out of power, etc., etc. She kills the thing. I'm like, oh, okay. Disappointment. Maybe next season I'll see him reveal himself. I'm probably not gonna watch season 2 of Kaiju number 8. Is what I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna keep watching this shit. And I'm noticeably less hype. I'm not feeling the hype anymore. And then when the situation comes with the bomb, the big Kaiju bomb, like I'm like, oh, okay, well, so this is crazy. Like, how are they all gonna scatter around? I'm not even thinking he's gonna reveal himself anymore. Then he goes on and reveals himself, and I'm just like, I loved that, but
it was so lackluster in comparison.
Yeah, because it was like, okay, whatever, bro. Like it took away from the impact that I was expecting to feel.
Oh my god, yeah.
And it kind of, how do they say it took the wind out of my sails?
Yes, that's exactly how I felt. Like while the episode was good, I was tired of the vice captain fighting, because I already like it became repetitive and it just overly predictable with him slashing to the point where he was going to wear himself out. Expect it. I'm like, okay, well, if you hurry up and wear himself out and it's at the middle of the episode, he reveals himself, then I'm perfectly happy. We get to the midpoint of the episode, and while he's getting his ass whooped, I'm like, yes, even though it's predictable, I'm fucking happy that the show can
getting it.
The show can finally start. And then when we get in, he gets stopped. I'm like, fuck, I quit. I'm done. I was feeling just like you. The wind was taken out of my cells. I was over it. I'm like, man, fuck this show. I am over this shit. I am over it. Like, because again, Tell say he could turn off his brain and enjoy the fighting. I can't do that shit. I'm so desensitized to shonen when they're just all about fighting. When it could be great looking hands. It could look phenomenal. It don't matter how it looks. It don't matter if the characters suck. It don't matter how good it looks. And the characters were starting to suck because it was just so repetitive. No, don't do it, sir. And you know what I'm saying? It was like, don't reveal yourself, Kafka. It's just so fucking tedious and annoying at this point because he got the kaiju powers in episode 2. It was episode 2, bro. Like, or was it 1? Either one. Yeah. It was
the end of episode 1. He used them in episode 2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it was episode 1. We've been here for, and let me put this in perspective. We watch this week to week. We've been here for 10 weeks and he's just been fumbling around for 10 fucking weeks. Like
he don't know how to use his power. Like he can't be of any assistance to anybody. No one's noticed anything. And then he's jumping around and the vice captain's like, hold up, this isn't the ability of a person with a 1% activation of their suit, etc. So I'm like, come on, bro, y'all should have been noticed. Like,
but that part was cool though. The fact that he was realizing that he was like, wait, this isn't the same Kafka. Oh, I should have known. I knew something was wrong with that fight. I'm like, yes, that's cool. I'm loving that. The whole character realization, that part. I wanted to root for the guy. I was worried that this was the outcome, blah, 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 blah. As he was saying all that, I'm like, yes. And then at the end, he gets arrested. I'm like, okay, all right. But you know what? Now the show can start. I said this in Discord. I mentioned this everywhere. I'm like, finally, Kaiju number 8 is starting because then now it's going to be more character pieces. It's going to be probably a trial if I had to guess, or some like they're discussing like, hey, he's on our side. He saved me, blah, blah, blah. That's so cool. That's the part I'm excited for. Not everybody else's backstory, not everybody else's powers, not the fucking blonde haired girl getting more cool shit. I'm so sick of seeing her. I don't know what to do. Like, it's just like I was over it. But that's the issue. Exactly what you said is that why are we 10 episodes in and it's just starting, man? Yeah. And I get it, right? It's a still ongoing manga. There's probably hundreds of chapters to go. Season 2 is already confirmed, by the way. It's already in production. I get it, right? There's so much dialogue and data and information for them to give us. Why am I feeling like I'm just now starting to watch this anime today? And I watched it yesterday, you know what I mean? Or on Saturday when it came out, but it's still like, I feel like, why am I just now starting watching this? Like this, it felt like a folly on their end. Like somehow, and obviously I understand that this is how it was written, right? This is how it was written. They're just adapting it the way that it was written. Sure. But it definitely took a lot of it out of it for me. And yeah, I'm gonna still enjoy it, but I feel like this episode, though, the quality of it overall, the way it looked, the way it sound, even the pacing, like had you like you said, if they had done him doing his reveal in the middle of the episode, let it play out. Fighting. Yep. Let it play out, and then we get to the end and he get arrested. This was like borderline. It could have been 9.5 out of 10 kind of episode where 100% Jobless Reincarnation got a runner-up this week. It didn't have a runner-up this week because Jobless Reincarnation was the only one that was like that like polarizingly good this week. And it's just it took so much wind out of my sails watching it because I'm like, man. And like I said, I was hyped during the episode watching it happen. But after I turned it off and I like sat down for a second, I was like, yeah, bro, that was ass, man. Yeah, I was getting more and more over it as the fight drew longer and longer because I knew the episode was ending sooner and sooner. So it's like, like I did that feeling. I was like, come on, man, come on. Well, other than that, I'm happy that it happened. The show can finally start at episode 11. Finally, we got 2 more, and then the end of the season out. Usually, I'm sad when the end of the season is coming for something I'm enjoying. While I am enjoying Kaiju number 8, this isn't saying that I don't enjoy it. The end is nigh, and I don't care. Like, not that I don't care, but the end is nigh, and I'm okay. I'll be okay. I'll be okay with a break. I'm gonna tell you exactly why you're okay with a break, because now you know that season 2 is the beginning of the anime.
Do you feel me? The season 2 is the beginning of the anime. Why am I watching a prelude?
Season 2, I could be excited about everything. This could have been
3 episodes broken down and then gave us.
Talk to us.
Yeah, man, oh man. And it's not to say that people who are really enjoying Kaiju number 8 shouldn't be enjoying it or anything like that, because we are enjoying it. You know 100%. What I mean? We're enjoying it. It's just that, hey, the story just started right here.
We got to keep it real, though, as we do always.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that even with the introduction of this Kaiju, right? Of this new Kaiju kind of thing, the big red Kaiju.
Yeah, having feelings and enjoying it.
Whatever kind of thing. A lot of this whole thing, it almost feels like some of the time was just wasted getting to episode 10, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
It feels like time was wasted getting here.
Yep. I couldn't agree more. It was being talked about a lot less up until this episode. Oh, again, let me not say that, because it is very disingenuous for me to talk about the conversation around it, because I haven't been on Twitter whatsoever. So I truly don't know if it was being talked about. I just feel like it hasn't been, because of every time you get on Twitter, when it's a major show, every time you get on Twitter, no matter if it's one time a week, you see something of that major show, at least on our Twitter. Like it's always that. Mostly this time it's just been My Hero, and it's just been people talking about Dabi. Like it's just that is all I've been seeing.
It sucks. It's almost just like when Ninja Kamui fell off.
Exactly. So it's like you're right. I don't see anything about it. So for the minute or two I was on Twitter this week, but it just, I don't know. Maybe I'm alone. Correct me if I'm wrong. For those of you who are on Twitter more or out in the zeitgeist more, let us know if we're off base there. But this one was good but rough.
That's exactly it.
Good but rough. I was disappointed. Now, to move on to the spoiler half.
This is it right here.
Of one of the greatest isekais of all time. Easily top 3. And it's not 3, probably.
Yeah, easily top 2. And the only reason it's losing is because ReZero is like it was made.
Right. So, Jobless Reincarnation, episode 10?
This is episode 10.
So everything I discussed about, hey, maybe the man guy was forcing him to go, was wrong. He got the biggest, most devastating thing happen to Rudy this episode on Father's Day. Which is crazy. Which is wild that lined up like that. But yeah, it's a major repercussions for not listening to the man god. I think this is the payment for that, honestly, because if he wasn't there, then Paul probably would have been able to focus better. Mao would have even made it to Zenith at the same time, because Rudy did bring the book. Probably not, or maybe they would have. It just would have taken longer. You know, like you don't know necessarily the outcome, but that's my gut feeling. My gut feeling tells me that they would have taken longer to make it there, but they would have made it there.
And then Roxy would have been dead.
Roxy would have probably been dead too. Yeah, that's true. Because she was not making it. And the only reason why they made it is because they were there at that time, in that particular moment, and Rudy just happened to sense her or smell her or whatever the case may be. So yeah, that's correct. So it was a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation. That's what turning points are. And fuck, man, this one was rough.
This was easily my least favorite episode this week.
Yeah, right.
It broke my heart.
It was the least, but most. It was the best episode, but the least favorite episode because of the
best episode for sure. But man, it was, and it's crazy because it was so good. But I knew it, right? Because we both kind of knew that this might have been the repercussion that we were facing, right?
I think one of us said it.
Well, we both said it at some point, you know what I mean? But we knew that this was going to be a repercussion. But it was like, I'm not going to say we knew, but we both like kind of said like it feels that way. And then he did the whole conversation with thanking the party.
Yep.
Rudy, save your mother, even if you got to die trying or whatever, right?
Yep.
Come on, bro. And then we you know when we did say this is I think you said this part. You said it this time. You might have been the first one to say it. You said that when he told Rudy that he had something to tell him, Rudy said those sound like last words.
Yep.
And you're like, yes, literally, we're not gonna get Paul out of this, and that fucking sucked this episode, bro.
Especially with how they was rekindling their relationship, but then like when Paul charged in, I'm like, no, Paul, what are you? That's what I thought. Like I thought he was gonna dive in because of how his reaction was, right? Like I thought he was gonna dive in because of the simple fact that he rushed in unequivocally, wasn't even thinking about like doing this the right way to a monster none of them has ever seen.
A Malachite Hydra?
Bruh, like it's unbelievable. So obviously we're back in a dungeon. They fight this Hydra, and then Rudy comes up with a plan that works really well. Thank goodness, because he took it from his past life, past life historical knowledge. But I digress. And I mean, most importantly, right? Not only did he lose Paul, I'm a mimic what Fear said in the Discord, but not only did he lose Paul, but he lost his arm. And this has to be the payment for disobeying the man God. This is exactly what Fear said. He's spot on Father's Day. Mm-hmm. Like, it's unbelievable how sad this was. I had a thug tear. I definitely shed a thug tear because I think the effort and the grueling, punishing, just psychological effects of Paul searching for Zenith for all this time, for 13 years or whatever the fucking case may be, all this time looking for her. And
this is where you at. It's been 10 years since he's even seen his mom. It's been 10 years, right? And what makes this crazier is that the whole conversation or thought process he had when he said, he's like, how could you not be more like eager or upset, about what's going on with your mom? Why are you not moving? Why are you not emotional? And Rudy's like, it's been 10 years. I've been away from my mom longer than I've been alive. Or I've been away from my mom for more than half my life. You know what I mean? Yeah. So for him, it's like, she's my mom, but she's also someone I just lived with. And
for 7 years.
What sucks is that, right? He has to experience this trade-off of like, you got to experience your dad. You got to see and feel these things with your dad, but now you don't have your dad no more. So maybe he got to try and actually kindle that relationship with his mother now. And it's like...
But before we get into that, though, not only that, but the fact that... This is rough. But the fact that he's going to feel like it was his fault because Paul had to save him.
Yeah, he paused.
Paul saved him because of Rudy's inexperience in labyrinths or fighting anything this massive or major. And like... he's going to feel to blame. Like, and Rudy is always so fucking hard on himself. Like from the beginning because of his past life. He was hard on himself in his past life, and all of that is going to come around because now it's like, damn, it's my fault. My dad is dead. And now when I get back, we do all this work to save my mom, and my mom is a fucking infant or the mind of an infant or whatever is going on with her. She don't even remember who I am, basically. Whatever that is, like, that's rough mentally. And what Jobless Reincarnation does extremely well is show the mental break of people, of characters in this world, in this savage, ruthless, heartbreaking world. It's gut punching, man. It's rough. And he lost an arm or a hand,
which he's gonna probably get that back or something. I don't even know. I mean, I imagine because he regrew most of it with a spell, and we know that there's magic that can recover his hand.
Do we? Because he said
the spell he had wasn't strong enough to do it.
Oh, okay, but you think okay.
But that's not the important part. But like, 100% he's gonna feel like it's his fault, and maybe his sisters are gonna feel like it's his fault. He's gonna have a lot of burden and weight to carry with that.
But not only that, like the thought that it's all because I didn't listen to the man God. Now he has that olive branch on top of the olive branches he have of all of this just overthinking, and it's just gonna be awful, man. It's just gonna be awful mentally.
I do think that maybe he could rationalize with like what we said, that if he didn't go, he would have still lost. You know, he would have never got his mom back, or Roxy would have died. If Roxy died, they would have never even gone further into the dungeon. You know, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So there's a bunch of different things he could use to rationalize like he had to go. Do you think he's gonna talk to the man god in like the next 2 episodes, like again, just to, you know, I guess settle things or clear the air about what happened?
Well, the title of the next episode is Going Home, or Let's Go Home, or something like that. So I'm assuming, yes, it's either going to be before he goes home or when he gets home. It's going to be a conversation with the man god in his dreams, and man god's going to be like, yo, this is, I fucking told you. I fucking told you. But I mean, when he gets home, he didn't spend 2 years there, which this one does seem hard to rationalize, like time, where we are as far as like time goes. But we know that Zenith slept for 4 days. We know that it took him 2 months to get there. 3 months to get there. So,
but they did teleport too. So the teleporting was a large part of that.
The teleporting stopped him from taking 2 years to get there and made it 3 months. So yeah, so he has to travel back again. Yeah, they're going to teleport back, because luckily Elenize, the elf woman, she's still alive, because if they would have lost her, he would have been fucked, because she's the directional. It's like her direction abilities is what brought him there and was going to get him back. So thank goodness for that. But I'm extremely curious as to what is going to happen as far as his mom goes. Is he going to bring his mom with him? Is he going to bring the other maid lady with him now that she doesn't have anybody left because Paul's gone? Like, it's just so much, man. It's so much. Roxy, she's going to go with him? Like, I don't know, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think everybody's going to go with, well, I don't know. I hope that the moms of his sisters come with him.
Yeah.
So his mom and the mom of his other sister come with him. I hope that they can operate as a unit. I almost feel like, while I know that previously I said that I feel like he's going to marry Roxy, I almost feel like, I hate to say it, Roxy's going to go off and do her own thing again.
Yeah.
Do you feel that? Is there a reason? Like, do we have a reason for her doing that yet? Or
no,
do you think she's going to stay with him?
I hope she stays with him, but something about this feels like she's not. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Go off, do her own thing, and then maybe come back at a later time or some shit like that. Like, I don't know.
Let him grieve, I guess, or something.
Something that ridiculous that it wouldn't make any sense. Or it could be the opposite. Maybe she wants to be with him so he can grieve with her instead of being by himself.
Or maybe she'll tell him what Paul was going to say.
No.
Because that would give her...
No, because what Paul was going to say was going to expose the fact that he has a wife and child. Remember, because Rudy's like, I don't want you to dropping big bombs before we go into this fight. If he that would have been a big bomb to Roxy while she's crushing, even though I don't think he knows that she's crushing. He's so oblivious, but I don't know, man. It's a gut check. I do think this is what I hope. Not what I think, but what I hope. I hope that Roxy, both the moms, come back with Elenice and Rudius. I hope that we don't have to watch the travel and it takes us there, because I think is this next week the last episode?
No, I think we got 2 more episodes.
Okay, so I'm okay with them traveling in, but I would have been not okay if they travel. Yeah, I'm okay with them travel. Yeah, there's 2 more episodes. They're traveling, but I don't know, man. This is going to be a awful return home.
I'm dreading it.
Yeah, because at the cost of Paul, you got your mom, but your mom don't know who you are, or we don't even know who she is at this particular moment. Like, it's tough. And Rudy's face at the end, bro. It just sends chills down my back with the...
They do a great job with that.
Such a great job with that. I don't know, man. It's rough. It's rough. Okay. Anything else? Any gut checks for you, Tel?
No, I think we both agree. I think we both agree on that gut check. I kind of think we got the same thing. I want to hear what you got to say about a condition called love.
Moving on to a condition called love. Now, there is... I hate that this does this, but there was something in condition called love Then I'm trying to find it because every time I start to add watching stuff to my list gets all fucked up. But I digress. Let me go here. Here it is. Okay. There was a thread on AniList. Now from time to time I kind of like go into like the episode spoiler threads of certain anime on AniList and kind of do a deep dive. Now I realized I did this because when I was looking at a condition called love profile, it has a rating of 65%. This anime is hated. It's hated strongly through the community. And I know why, going through the spoiler half. Somebody that actually follows me on AniList seems to be a frequent visitor of the forums, and he was in this thread in particular. But they were talking about the toxicness of Hanoi, whatever his name is, in this particular anime, and how it's just an awful show. He's a terrible character. Everything is so bad with this show because of him. And it sent me down this rabbit hole. And I typed a long paragraph on this forum, but I'm not going to read it or anything. But I did because it was because somebody posted something like maybe I'm in the minority of this, but he starts to explain everything he feels about the show in particular. But I did too. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it because it's not that long actually. He says the other guy was talking like how he made an essay. It was very long, so I'm not gonna read that. But he's talking about how this show is good because they showing how he's learning to become a better person. Not only just a better boyfriend, because he's a great boyfriend, but a better person overall because of what's her name? Hotaku, whatever her name is. Hodako. Yeah, that's her name. Hodako. And I'm like, that's exactly what the show is about. To say that he's toxic, I don't think is the right word. I don't think he's toxic in a sense. And I'm gonna explain here in this particular thread, but I digress. He said he said all this good stuff about how he enjoys the show because he don't think it's necessarily toxic. It's like he just have like a self-hating thing that's going on because of stuff that happened with his parents and stuff like that. It's understandable, all that good stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then I said my thoughts exactly on his thread, but he says, I think the toxic narrative comes from people that want the shoujo main male MC to be perfect, Prince Charming. But this show depicts a MC with a real emotions that people do feel in real life that maybe I don't relate to or you don't relate to, but is a real feeling that somebody could possibly feel. So because this Hanoi or whatever his name isn't the perfect shoujo main character, he isn't the best quote unquote person, I still think this show is extremely good because it depicts a character that's not perfect, that is gradually trying to become something better because of our MC main character. Now, I think if it wasn't for her, it started off as a show. Sorry, it started off as a show about him being a great guy and teaching her what love is, to becoming a girl, teaching him how to love more than just her. I find that to be such a captivating story, such an intriguing story. Now, do I like what he's doing? Absolutely not. Do I think it's toxic? No. And I don't think it's toxic because he's not stopping her from being with her friends, or he's not stopping her from being with her family. He's saying, I don't like it. And that's an emotion that I have to change. That's an emotion I have to fix. And the fact that it's showing a character like that, to me, is extremely intriguing. It's different. It's unique. It's a great form of storytelling in a shoujo or a slice of life period that I have never seen before. And I think that's dope.
And yeah, I do think that his growth is a very important contributing factor to the dynamic of this story. I have two opinions or two things to say about this. One is opinion. The first thing is that, like, when it comes to like the toxic part, right? The issue with the toxic thing is that if you're allergic to dogs, the dog don't hate you, but you're still gonna sneeze and get sick when it comes around. You know what I mean? It's still toxic to your immune system or your nervous system just because you're allergic to it. even if the dog loves you, right? The dog has no ill will to you. It's still toxic to your body. Now, that does not mean that he is intentionally being a bad person. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's ever intentionally being like mean. He's just outwardly showing his actual emotion, right?
Yeah.
It don't mean that it doesn't necessarily have a negative effect on her or those around her. And I don't think he's necessarily bad for that, because he is trying to grow. And I think that's the important part about his character.
The word toxic to me, though, means something different, right? Like, it means like you're controlling, you're manipulative. And I mean,
I don't think you can say that, right?
Yet.
You can say that, because I know, like, for me, I don't view that in that sense. You know what I mean? Because toxic could be like, we're not supposed to be eating that much sugar, but it's toxic if you eat too much of it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking of toxic as in, like, it can be intentional or inadvertent, like accidental. You know what I mean?
Well, put it in relationship terms, though. Like, yeah,
in relationship terms, like, I could love my wife with all of my heart, but I know that how friendly I am is not how friendly she is. So to her, me being super friendly could be like, you don't love me. It could be toxic. Or she could be like, yeah, yo, you too friendly. You know that. So it could be, to me, I think it could be I think it can go either way in terms of toxicity, if you want to go that route. But I think that if in my opinion of the actual show itself, if I'm being 100% honest about this show, I hate this show. I love the writing, though.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about it. I don't like this show. I don't like the girl. I don't like Hinoe. I don't like the show, if I'm talking about like who the characters are. But the writing is why I'm here, because I think that the writing shows that both of these characters have given a ton of development. Our woman protagonist and our male protagonist, they are both characters who are growing in a very way that you said that they are growing in terms of like, and how it started. He got this perception of this good guy, this person who wants love. We got to understand what his pain was, why he is the way he is. You know what I mean? And I think that's what makes the show good. I wouldn't give it a 65%, even though I don't personally like the show, because I don't think personally, I think personally I don't like it, but I think objectively there's so much more to this show. This is a show with layers in terms of developing and peeling back who this character is, and that's why it acts this way. This show is about peeling the layers back about this girl and why she acts this way and how she develops and how he develops. So I think that in terms of writing, I even think in terms of pacing, in terms of like how these characters interact, even without just them two interacting, but how others interact with them, I think the show's writing is great. I just know it's not for me, because I'm looking at the show, I'm like, yo, bro, oh my God. Like, I can't deal with this.
Okay.
But I think the writing is, I don't think the writing is even close to subpar. I think a 65% is just because they're haters. I don't think that they're actually objectively looking at the show and trying to think, but is it written well?
Yeah. Okay. Because it's all, obviously it's all subjective, right? And forgive me if you're watching the YouTube video and the cameras, I'm all out of frame, and I'm usually not out of frame, but this is an intense conversation for me. It's all subjective. Not liking it, whatever. I get what you're saying, because what you're saying makes sense. You don't like it. You don't like it because of what exactly? Because everything you said was good or positive.
Well, I don't like, so like I said, I don't like the characters. I don't like the way that things are playing out. That's what I'm saying. Just because I think that it's written well, just because I think that it's directed well, just because I think it sounds good, or all these things are playing out in an actual realistic manner, it don't mean I like it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's very
contradictory statement that I don't understand. I'm trying to.
I understand why you don't understand it, but I'm saying that, like, for me, just because it's written well, you know what I mean? It's written well in the context to me that this feels realistic, is what I'm saying. Okay. And I think that if this was reality, I would be like, no, get the fuck out of that situation. Or that's what I'm saying. Get out of that situation. I would never tell a woman to be with somebody like that. I would never tell a man to be with somebody like that, is what I'm saying. Okay. I think that these people, if this was reality, it's too close to reality for me to be like, yeah, no.
So
I would never want someone that I know in this situation.
This is what somebody said. This is the guy that actually follows me on AniList said. He said she enables his toxicness, and he has the charisma of a serial killer in training. I really have lost all respect for this show. Just got to finish it. Last episode was the only decent one. This may be one of the worst shoujo romance anime I've ever seen, and it's mainly due to the main couple.
And I don't think she's enabling him. I don't think she's fully aware. You know what I mean? It's hard to be aware of because he's like, I get upset or anything like that. I don't think she's not enabling that. She's like, yo, I want to work with you through this. You know what I mean?
There's nothing toxic, quote unquote, there. And again, a toxic is very different for different people, right? Like what you said as being toxic is a definition of toxic. What I say of being toxic is, again, somebody that's controlling, that's telling you what to do, telling you where to go, telling you what to wear. That type of shit is a little bit more toxic to me and like disingenuous and gross. In this particular case, we see both sides. We see both perspectives. We get both monologues. She only gets herself, her side, her monologue, and he gets his monologue, and he's getting what he's getting from her, and she's getting what she's getting from him. Now, what I say is so great, and I say great because I think the show is actually great, is the realism behind the fact that not every male is perfect in a shoujo. Not every female is perfect. Now, with her stopping him in his most recent episode from telling the truth, like when he's trying to say, like, this is the reason why I'm like this. Something happened in school. It was this, it was that. We actually knew it. Like, I actually went to your school, but I was this and I was that. And the reason why is this. The fact that she stopped him from doing that was rough. But the reason she stopped him from doing that was also right, because she's like, okay, you don't have to trauma dump, essentially, is what she's saying. You don't have to trauma dump all this at once, because that's not fair. Like, I've told you some things about me, and you're about to tell me everything about you, and that's not fair. While I respect that, I respect her doing that. It did stop something majorly important, which would have been a huge character growth for him. It did stop a major character growth for him, because he was about to tell her, listen, I went to your school. When I was a kid, I was gloomy. I hated life because of this happened, because my parents were gone, because my parents loved doing stuff for other kids rather than being with me. Like, it was about to be essentially a trauma dump.
And while I understand, I disagree. And I only say I disagree because I feel like he developed in that moment when she said, no, don't share that information. Yeah, because for me, emotionally, he's like, oh, so we are doing this in our own time. We're doing this in our own pacing. And that's why I said I think the writing is fire. I think the writing is on point. That's what I'm saying. I don't like it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that the writing. I think that was so realistic that's how it should have been in a relationship anyway. You know what I mean? It should have been that, no, you don't have to tell me everything about you right now. We're learning each other. It's been 2 months. You think I know everything about you in 2 months?
Exactly.
That's insane. So what I'm saying to me is that I think it's extremely well written and it's realistic. It don't mean I like it. Yeah. I'm just saying that I think that this show is so well written that it makes me dislike it, because I'm like, yo, this is crazy that it feels this way. And that's why I think it's so important that he's developing in this way, because it is going to make him a character that I think that is going to be likable in the end.
I get it.
I just don't like seeing him. I don't like seeing it this way. You know what I mean? He will be, and I think he's going to end up being, and hear me out, man. Like you said, no, not every male protagonist is perfect. Not every female protagonist is perfect.
I'm honestly sick of it.
I think that he's going to be perfect in the end, but I think that is way more rewarding. And that's why I think it's meant for you to hate these characters, or this character specifically right now, because in season 2, in season 3, you're going to see so much development from this character. And that's the whole point in it, is that it's not about it being perfect in the beginning, because nothing should be perfect in the beginning, bro. This is a relationship with one person who ain't never been in one, and a person who's only been looking for a solid relationship that he could not get from anyone in his family. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's why I think that it's so well written, because this is real psychology. This is how people actually think.
Yeah. So this, let me clarify and let me know if I'm off base here too, because you would tell me if I'm wrong, obviously. It's not that you think it's a bad show.
Not even close.
Okay. That's where I guess a slight miscommunication is, because saying you don't like it makes me assume that it's a bad show to you, which that's not the case entirely. I'm
saying it's well written.
It's a good show, well-written show that you don't like because of the emotion that it evokes within you between the characters.
It feels like it's making me not like these characters. I don't like how she's addressing the situation. I don't like how he's addressing the situation. The people around them, I don't like how they address the situation.
What's wrong with her?
I think that for her, and mostly my opinion of her was more so like, I guess, like worse in the beginning, you know what I mean? And I say that because it's like you're just going along with a relationship because you've never been in one and you're humoring him. To me, that felt like almost like in a sense that she's the only one getting something out of this, even though technically he's the one that's supposed to be getting something out of it. She's getting really she's not getting anything out of it, but it felt like it didn't feel genuine. It felt disingenuine. So it felt like there was a lot of issues with that. And then as time, go ahead.
To just slightly interrupt you there, that she explained that to him. She said, everything you're saying right now, listen, this is disingenuous. This feels wrong to me. Like, but I'm doing this for this reason. Are you okay with that? He was okay with it. So it's like, it's not like it was, I agree with you. Everything you're saying is 100% right. But it wasn't like it wasn't understood.
Right. And I say that to say that even if someone is saying they're okay with something, if someone is okay with being misused, and let's not say he's being abused in the situation, because he's not being abused if he says he wants it. You know,
he wanted to try to make that happen. He wanted to try to make her actually fall in love. That was the goal. For me, all of that feel like manipulation. Yeah.
That's what it feels like for me. So I don't like that.
But in that case, whenever you talk to a woman, that's a manipulation. You try to get to the point where you get together.
But you can say that.
That's a manipulation.
and hear me out. I ain't never gone out and just say I'm gonna spit game to somebody.
Sure,
you know what I mean? I ain't never been good at that. So even for me, like even when I talk to my wife, I'd be like, I could never have picked her up. She had to come talk to me because I wasn't able to. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I'm the same way.
The girl I dated before her, I ain't never talked to her. She came up to me and said she wanted to be with me. I ain't know none of that. So for me, my mentality is that like I have never talked to a woman with the intention of saying I want to just go out with you. I ain't never talked to a woman with the intention I just want to do intercourse or anything like that. So for me, I've only ever gone and like talked to people as friends. If anything developed, it was because of that. It wasn't because of anything else. So for me, looking at this in the perspective of my brain saying that like I just want to be friends before I even get to that point, this is logically unsound. I don't think this makes sense. But I can understand how like a person who they're looking just for that interaction, they want to see if they can get someone to love them. I can see that, but to me, it all feels like manipulation.
I think the fact that the one thing that you're missing that is very important here is that she said no to all of this at first. It was her being friends in the first place. I just want to be friends because I've never been in a relationship. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. It was him constantly trying, like, hey, whatever. He's showing up to her classroom, walking, you know what I'm saying? All this shit that he kept doing. And she said, okay, look, I never did this before. And we're paraphrasing and shortening TDLRing for time's sake. I never did this before. So, but if you're sure, we can try something. And now, if you want to talk about manipulation, it wasn't her that did the manipulating. It was him.
Yeah. No, now hear me out though. Imagine, and your big brother, imagine this was you know, your sister. You'd be like, well, what's going on? What's up with him? And you might be a little bit more, because like now you're probably way more emotionally intelligent to understand like, okay, well maybe dude just going through some things and let me figure it out. Let me see if you good. But I'm saying that at your first thought as a big brother is gonna be like, something ain't quite right there.
You're saying that from a perspective of somebody who knows his monologue or his situation.
Yeah, that's someone who knows it, right? But I'm saying that as someone, I ain't never talked to nobody who said, "Hey, look, let's just date. You ain't gotta actually like me. I just want to date to see if you will like me in the future because you've never had a boyfriend before. Let's just date. Let's just see if you like me in the future."
With your example, I would have never known none of that. Like never. Like it would have been him asking her out, and she's saying either she's saying yes or no. I don't know if she's saying yes or I don't know if she's saying no. He's just kind of there. You know what I'm saying? It's a natural friendship from my perspective, not knowing anything from everybody else's perspective. It's a friendship that seems to be forming between these two particular people that happens to maybe either that got together eventually. Like
I'm saying that I'm insinuating that she said no, and she like, well, yeah, I'm dating this guy. I told him no 3 times, but I just did because he kept asking. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I'm coming from that point. Now I understand not knowing. You know what I mean? I'm saying that my psychology and my brain is telling me she said no 3 times, bro.
Yeah,
that's too many no's.
Do you think anybody else around them knew that she said no?
I'm not saying anybody else around them necessarily knew. Yeah. That's not that. Okay. I'm talking about like from the aspect of the viewer, from the perspective of the viewer. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're looking at it and we're like, nah, bro. She said no like 3-4 times. That's a little funky. But I get how it develops because she's saying no because she don't care. You know what I mean? She's saying no, not because she ain't interested at all in dating. She's saying no because she
exactly right.
It's whatever to her. It's like I don't need this now. Hold up, I might be interested in this. So she gives it a chance. She gives it a trial.
And she tells him everything.
I can understand, some of that.
Yeah.
I think that you can force that philosophy to kind of work in a sense. But I think that in terms of, like I said, I'm gonna stand on the fact that I don't like the show, but I think that it is well written in terms of how it develops, especially with these characters moving forward. Because I do like him more now than I did previously, and it's because they've given us fortification in the reasons as to why he is. You know what I mean?
Is it the emotion that the show invokes though, or the show period? Like you just don't like the show?
I see him and I have disdain.
Yeah. No, I agree. Me too.
If he was a person I knew in person, I would be like, yeah, bro. I can't have conversations with you because you give me that look one time. You get suplexed.
Yeah, because he's even doing that around her. Well, I haven't seen him do that.
He's not really doing it around her unless her back is turned. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
But it's like
a tough situation.
Because I know, but I can only go off of the fact of how I feel in terms of respect and treating people.
100%.
Like I can understand standing your ground in defense of your girl or a girl you're attracted to or anything like that. That's perfectly fine. I agree with that. But I'm saying that like,
if I'm just trying to be cool with you and you like, get away from me, don't talk. Like, hold on.
I even get that. I step up, I back up. All right, boy, I ain't trying to be cool with you then.
Yeah, but I'm like, hold on. Why are you? If I seen this, why are you like this with her? And everybody else when she's around, but you're like this now, that's some fake shit.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That too.
I'm like, I don't fuck with that. I'm gonna be like, yo, he full of shit. That's what I would do. Like he full of shit.
but that's us. That's us. But ain't nobody in the show. They all Japanese. They ain't like us.
Exactly. Not like us. But that's what I'm saying. That again, that's why it's disingenuous to say that this show is bad. Because for all these emotions, even these people in these comments, these emotions that they're feeling, the anger they feel for him, is something that you haven't probably felt before.
But that's why I think it's well written.
Cool,
because the fact that you feel something means it's written well.
That's cool. And again, everything you're saying about how you don't like the characters, except for the main girl character, I fucking love her. She's still great. As a main female MC, she's fantastic. She's such a sweet girl. And nothing she's doing is absolutely wrong.
Any other show, I'd like. She's great.
Yeah, but like, but why though? She's still gonna be the same girl.
Well, I'm saying if you put her, let's say you put her with the dude from with A Sign of Affection. Let's say you put her with that dude from A Sign of Affection.
It's no different. Because what she sees from him is the same that she's getting from Sign of. It's no different. I
can understand that.
She's getting this fake guy, essentially. We're gonna use the term essentially because essentially he's just fake. But he's genuine with her, but fake to everybody else. So it's a touchy subject. But I'm saying all that to say, I love her and everything else though. What you're saying with everything else about him and the show is absolutely right. I hate that part of it. I hate him. Sometimes it pisses me off, but the show is so good. And I think I enjoy it so much because of these emotions that I feel is something that I've never felt before in anime.
Yeah. It's proof
because
of good writing.
Yep. Because of the writing. So well said. I like the different perspectives that we take on that, on the particular aspect of it, because you saying you don't like the show isn't necessarily the same. It's the exact same thing of me loving the show, but it's in different contexts and perspectives, which I fucking love about that. I love that.
And it's making me, it's probably, what it's probably doing is making us both feel uncomfortable, but you're like, nah, bro, this is different. I like this. And I'm like, nah, man, I don't like this.
Yeah. You're spitting. Yo, that's exactly right. Oh my God. It's so good. But what else is good is follow me on Twitter. I'm at Polow Bornfly on all social media.
I'm at King Telliano on all social media.
You can follow our social medias at Mike Check Waifu on Instagram and on Twitter, and at Mike Check Waifu on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and YouTube. And as always, Mike check.
You're now tuned into Mike Check Waifu. Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you?